Today, we will be doing a guided meditation on one of the key aspects of dissolving identification with the mind. What does it mean to dissolve identification with the mind? To stop being under the impression that the mind is what you are. What is mind identification? To be under the impression that I am the mind, that I am this mental chatter, this constant mental narration, this constant describing, interpreting process. Dissolving mind identification means to grow in the understanding of what I truly am prior to, in truth, prior to the mind that I am seeing appearing before me, coming and going. The mind is what I appear to be. Dissolving identification with the mind is outgrowing that appearance and sinking into the recognition, the realization of what I actually am prior to the mind and prior to the ideas that it projects. So today we're going to be doing a guidance where we will experience what it means to dissolve identification with the mind and how to conduct this practice on a daily basis so that we continue to grow in that realization, experiential realization, not conceptual. Conceptual realization is just another belief, another mental belief. I am not the mind. It's of no use. Believing ourselves to be the mind, we create an idea. I am not the mind. That's not what we're doing here, right? We are really experiencing that which I am prior to the mind. So, as we prepare for today's guidance, take a moment to slow down. Slow down. We always just are in a habit of living in a perpetual next, next, next. Okay, what's next? Let's go through this experience and then that experience. Let me do this. Let me get that. Let me pursue that over there. Right now, let's slow down. Because if we are working to dissolve mind identification, we have to learn to slow down. Clarity, realization, wisdom comes from stillness, not through incessant, compulsive movement. Come to a place where you don't need anything to happen right now. Come to a place where you don't need anything to change right now. Come to a place where what's coming up next is not that important for you. You're not trying to escape this experience into a better experience. What is here is sufficient. Only by slowing down are we able to take a closer look at our experience and then grow an insight about the truth of what I am, the truth of things as they are. So, what is the one key element of dissolving mind identification that we mentioned. It is so what we're going to practice today is learning to establish ourselves as the knowing in which thinking appears and passes. Establishing ourselves as the knowing which sees thinking coming and going. For the duration that we are together today, don't take thinking to be what you are, to whatever degree you can. Identify only as the knowing or awareness which sees thinking. We're going to discern between wordless, thoughtless knowing. Feel into that. And wordful thinking. Thinking which arises in the form of language, words and images. Whatever the mind says, it says in words, largely. In the language you are accustomed to. But there is a wordless awareness of words. For the time we are together today, discern between the wordless awareness that you are and the words, the narration, the talking, the thinking, which comes and goes in your seeing. Isn't thinking being seen by something? Yes, thoughts happen, thoughts arise, and they talk about experience. But this mental narration, this mental talking is seen to arise. Be that seeing. Recognize yourself being that seeing, which is prior to and subtler than thoughts. We don't have to become that seeing. You already are that seeing. And from that place, you are seeing the coming and going of thinking. Simply recognize yourself being that which sees thoughts. Notice the awareness that you are. Consider yourself to be just a knower. You are just aware. You're not capable of anything else for the moment. Nothing else belongs to you. Nothing else is an activity that pertains. It's not of yours. It's not yours. You are only capable of knowing right now. You're not doing feeling. You're not doing thinking. You're not doing bodily movement. Bodily movement, you know. Thinking, you know. Feeling, you know. You are only a knower. And not even a personal knower, just a knowing. No reference of yourself as a person or anything, just a knowing, a plain awareness, seeing. Thoughts keep arising and demanding your seeing, your knowing. You keep knowing thoughts, and that's okay. But right now, know yourself. Acknowledge the knowing that is you. Acknowledge yourself being the knowing in which thoughts come and go. Thoughts may be arising right now and saying, am I doing this properly? Is this how it is done? Don't take yourself to be those thoughts. When those thoughts arise, no matter what they say, recognize yourself being the knowing of even those thoughts, of even the coming and going of those thoughts. No matter how many thoughts arise and whatever they say, don't be so interested in the content of them. Instead, keep recognizing yourself as the knowing which sees those thoughts arise and pass. Forget about the thoughts. Know yourself. Know yourself. Know your knowing. There's no room for words here. You do not need words in order to know. The arising of any words in the mind, which are thoughts, you know. You are the knowing that is always prior to and subtler than words. Knowing is wordless. Don't keep taking shape as the words, as the thoughts. Have the willingness to keep letting go of being thoughts in order to recognize yourself at a subtler level, being the knowing, which sees thoughts come and go. If you take thoughts to be what you are, you will take them to be important and you will take what they say to be true. So for now, and whenever you practice this, let go of taking thoughts to be what you are. Therefore, you'll stop taking them to be important and you'll stop believing them to be true. Then they're no longer compelling. Thoughts keep arising and offering descriptions and judgments and interpretations on this very practice. And we keep taking shape as those thoughts. We keep believing ourselves to be those thoughts. We keep entertaining those concepts. Have the willingness to let go of being thoughts in order to recognize yourself being the knowing, which is prior to thoughts. Let thoughts slip away. Let thoughts not be important. Let the arising of thought be a reminder of you, the knowing, which sees the arising of thought. Thoughts are seen at a distance. You see them come and go. Recognize yourself being the knowing which sees the coming and going of thoughts. So you see, the way to dissolve mind identification is to experience yourself being the knowing, which is prior to and subtler than thoughts. You are already always that. That is from where all experience is being known. You are the knower of experience, of the mind, of the body, of the world. This practice is about recognizing yourself as you truly are, rather than taking shape as what you know, as the mind, as the body, as the world. Start to just stop thoughts in their track. Let go of pursuing thinking. The moment you remember, oh, I'm thinking, recognize yourself being the knowing prior to the thinking. Recognize yourself being that knowing which sees thinking come and go. Keep taking a step back from being thought to being the knowing. Thought is just a costume knowing wears. Take that costume off and rest bare as you really are, without any mask. The more we experience ourselves as we really are, the more naturally identification with what we are not vanishes, weakens, withers away. The mind will fight, it will doubt, it will resist. Yet, even the doubtful, resisting, fearful mind, you are the knower of. Take a step back from being that fearful mind, that resistant mind, doubtful mind, and be the knowing in which even that is seen. Have the willingness to even drop and let go of taking shape as the doubting, the fearing, the resisting that feels so important, so true, so you. Recognize yourself as the knowing in which even that appears as a cloud coming, going, of which you are only the knower, the seer, the awareness. There's a main practice to devote oneself to. And we must devote dedicated time to doing this every single day, morning and evening. Enough laziness. If you seriously claim you want to dissolve mind identification, enough laziness. Otherwise, you will never be able to conquer the momentum of mind. It is too strong. And the great news for us is that in this practice, no special talent or ability is important. What is important is devotion, consistency. And that we are all very much capable of if our priority is set straight. Okay, let's conclude here.